Hello, Links and Bus Randomizer fans, and welcome back to Mystery Seed Week in the League. Today for you, we have the second game of Team Challenged versus Lost Locationers. Representing Team Challenged is RidleyDragon, and representing Lost Locationers is Linlinlin. I am Evolving Ocelot, and I am joined tonight by Mercer. How are you doing, Mercer?
Oh, pretty good. This is always my favorite form of randomizer, extra randomized.
Oh yeah, extra randomized. So to start off with, we know we're not dealing with any kind of randomizer settings for this, but other than that, it's going to be a complete mystery what we're dealing with. I'm going to post a link in chat, which you can also use yourself for anybody watching later on. So if you take a look there, that is the rates for how many different settings we could be dealing with in Mystery Seeds this week. So you can see we've got a small chance of randomizer settings, and that hasn't happened. So we're not going to be dealing with that. But how many crystals are we going to need to fight Ganon? How many crystals do we need to get in Ganon's Tower? Do we actually need to go in fast Ganon's Tower? Is it fast Ganon? Do we actually have to pull the pedestal to win? Do we have entrance shuffle? Do we have hard mode or expert mode? We're going to find out very shortly when our runners start.
Or swordless mode, that's still possible too. Lots of 5% misery in the weights for this tournament.
So it looks like we've got an open mode, and we're starting with gloves in Link's house. That is an excellent start. Oh, it's inverted!
Inverted. That's a nice start for those looking for a little bit of misery early.
The runners are proceeding south. They're going to have to throw some bombs at bushes at the enemies here, and pull the statue on the right to try and get some bombs, but not having any luck so far. So Hyper Cave access denied for now, and it's going to proceed north.
Yeah, there are some farming spots, but I'm not sure how familiar the runners are with inverted. It's a mode that got a lot of play when it first came out, and then you don't see it as much anymore.
Oh,
we've got some kind of dungeon shuffle.
So it's either going to be Key Sanity or Map and Compass Shuffle. But Map and Compass Shuffle also obscures what dungeons are pencil crystals, and the music inside the dungeons won't tell you either. We've got RidleyDragon lifting up bushes here outside of a dark grove, and I'm not sure if these bushes compared to Light World actually yield bombs.
Yeah. It could also be Map, Compass, and Small Key Shuffle. I think that is an option here.
Yeah, that is an option. So it could be just Map, Compass Shuffle, it could be Small Key Shuffle, or it could be Full Key Sanity.
We'll know if it's full key sanity if we see a big key somewhere that's not the dungeon it belongs in.
Oh, yes.
So Linlinlin heading towards a pretty easy bomb spot in Skullwoods for the opening of an inverted mode seed. That random skull is rude.
Yeah, you can grab some early items here in Skullwoods, and you can farm bombs, so you will see most runners going here to start off with an inverted, because you have way less options than you do compared to standard, casual, or open mode. Linlinlin's going to start with the middle portion, accidentally runs into Gibdo and takes a death, but that doesn't really set him back too much, just goes to the entrance a few feet away.
Yeah, this room isn't a lot of fun with no weapon at all.
RidleyDragon's going for the little bit safer finish of Outcast. Starts off with boots in C-shaped house. Good for getting around fast, but with no offensive options available to them, it's could end up with you running into something that will just one-shot you. Yeah,
there are certain walls that you can just bonk open. Hype Cave is not one of them, I don't believe.
Ridley's going to take a look at the first 4 chests in Thieves Town. Maybe progress further, but I think it's unlikely.
Well, we get our map for Thieves Town in Skullwoods, so we might find out what that is. Of course, it could still be an all dungeon seed for all we know. It might not matter what it is.
First chest in Thieves Town, Piece of Heart. So 2 guaranteed bombs here for Linlinlin, and he's just going to kill himself a few times to farm up more bomb.
Yeah, there's some small magic pots in there too, which will be nice to go with that cape. Early game inverted mode is not kind. But it looks like we're on normal, because that's a blue mail.
That is some kindness, especially this early on. It's effectively doubles your life, because you've got 3 hearts, you've got 50% damage reduction, so that kind of makes you the game... Well, it kind of makes you have 6 hearts, effectively. But you still don't want to go hugging chain chomps or Lionels or anything. Luckily, no foes are going to be a threat just yet. Okay, we've got a... Okay, small key to Dark Patterson in Skull Woods.
Well, that ups it to either small key shuffle or full key sanity.
And another key to Dark Palace. So
yeah. Inverted small key shuffle, you frequently will see a lot of pod keys early. There are a lot of them, and if there's an item hidden in there you need...
RidleyDragon's going to take that one bomb he's got into Hype Cave. But he can't open the back with only one bomb. So he gets 20 rupees from the aardvark looking guy in the front, and that's it. Hype Cave partially denied, but Linlinlin's going to take a bigger look inside. So he's lifting up some skulls outside the Dark World version of Link's house, and I don't think he can actually get any bombs here. I'm not sure. Oh, big key! We've got key sanity, and it's Mizuma.
Full key sanity.
And a lamp.
And the lamp.
A hammer!
And the hammer.
So right now we know we've got normal mode, inverted, key sanity. Whew, that is proving pretty spicy so far.
Yeah, inverted tends to put the hype back in Hype Cave. There aren't that many locations accessible early, so any of them are very likely to contain your progression.
Question in chat, is there any Randomizer? We know there's going to be no Randomizer of any kind, because if there was, it would have been on the runners' menu screens before they started the race. Normally, if you've got Randomizer, you've got a little EN tag with some numbers beside it, which indicates Randomizer, but that wasn't present, so we know we're not dealing with Randomizer. RidleyDragon is throwing rocks at a Hinox out here. He gets a full magic drop, but he's really looking for bombs at this point. With no cash available, he can't go play the archery game to farm up some cash. Like, I believe it's 40 rupees or 30 rupees for the archery game.
20, I believe.
And he's got a mere 8. Oh. There's 20 rupees available in Skull Woods if he went over there to grab it.
Yeah, but at that point he'd have bombs, so... He may just not remember those bombs. I'm not sure how much Inverted Ridley has played.
He's going back in Thieves Town now. Yeah, he's still hunting for bombs. I'm guessing he doesn't know about the pots in Skull Woods. It is pretty obscure knowledge if you've never played Inverted before. And even if you have played Inverted before, you just may not remember it. Maybe you haven't played Inverted in a year and you just don't remember there's bombs in Skull Woods because you never go for those bombs usually. There's no reason to go over there in a regular, non-inverted seed. Unless you can't do the bomb jump, of course, to the big chest.
Speaking as someone who can't do the bomb jump and goes that way to the big chest. And Linlinlin taking a Death Warp out.
I'm not sure it was a Death Warp. I think they just ran into Zazak's below the bridge. Okay, well, they're exiting anyway.
No, they had the 4 chests, and this is key sanity. There ain't no going further.
Okay, RidleyDragon grabs one bomb from a pot in Thieves Town. So if you go into the northeast room in the first 4 rooms and go to the southeast corner of that, there's a bomb in a pot there. The more you know. Looks like he's still hunting. There's another bomb. And he's out.
Yeah, that'll get him into the back of Hype Cave. Meanwhile, Linlinlin has enough money to do the dig game.
Yeah, so we see that a little bit of knowledge is playing out here for Linlinlin and giving them a little bit of an early advantage here in getting their Dark World checks done. Because RidleyDragon does not know about the bombs in Skullwoods, or the fact, or even wants to venture into Skullwoods. Missing out on 20 rupees in the chest there and bombs. So let's put him back a little bit, but he's getting his Hype Cave loadout here.
And a small key to Castle Tower. Not too likely to need that unless this is all dungeons. But the chests might have something, so I guess it does give access to an additional chest.
Taking a quick look at Bumper Ledge here, because we have to have got an early cape, just 10 hours. And Linlin's looking to murder a Dacto here, but 5 hours from the murder Dacto.
And if anybody watching has not done inverted mode before, taking the old man back is a little bit more of a trip in this mode.
There's a small key on a pyramid. RidleyDragon's definitely going to pick that up. Linlin's doing the old man delivery. You have to go up to the top of the mountain here, and there's going to be a portal to the light world. This is going to put Linlin in bunny form, and I don't remember the bunny form for the girl from Secret of Mana, but he can still return the old man. He just can't really do much to Death Mountain in bunny form.
I think it might be the sprite. That's both our Castle Tower keys, by the way. Now, I'm not saying, but if this is a swordless seed, and we have not seen evidence that it's not yet, I think that Aga's in logic.
Okay, the girl has a basket on her head.
Ah, okay.
Oh, 3 bombs from the old man. So Linlinlin can still get up to Spectacle Rock here and take a look inside, see if there's an item, and then go grab that item if they so choose. But that's about all else they can do on the mountain. And RidleyDragon's going to pay a visit to the grumpy fish up here. He doesn't charge rupees, but he does pull a really rude face at you and sometimes spit stuff at you. $20.
Yeah, Ridley can use that, actually. It's not swordless. Hello, sword.
I'm going to be honest, the first race I covered this week, runners spent 1 hour without a sword and everybody was calling swords. And then they found a sword. And the rest of the seed was finding swords in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, there's a few tells in the world state, but if they don't go to Skullwoods or Aga Tower or try to use a medallion on one of the circles, then you can't really tell.
Yeah, most of those are blocked off to runners right now. So, like, there's a... if you are in Swordless, there's a medallion spot in Ice Palace, for example, where you would normally not see anything at all, but in Swordless, you see a little bomber symbol saying, hey, you can use bombers here to kill the Freezors without needing a sword.
Though you do need the hammer.
I'm not sure why RidleyDragon is... Oh, yeah, he's going to get the old man. Never mind. I was thinking for a second that went to the arrows on Bumper Ledge, but nope, this is inverted. You're going into the light world side of Death Mountain. But you still keep your form.
Yeah, it's one of the edits to the world that they made to make inverted work. There's a number of smaller ones. This is probably the biggest single one, other than the Castle Tower and Ganon's Tower switching places.
Now, I don't believe either of our runners actually read the signpost outside the pyramid, so we don't know the goal of the seed yet. How many... well, I actually know. In inverted, the signpost isn't going to be outside the pyramid. It's going to be outside Ganon's Tower, I think. Or is it outside Castle Tower? I don't remember.
Believe it's outside Castle Tower. Ridley actually looked for it. I mean, was apparently familiar with mystery seeds in general, but maybe not so much with inverted specifically.
Okay, he's walking north. There's no signpost here because whilst you can get into Castle Tower, this ain't actually Ganon's Tower, so you're not going to see a sign here for what the goal of a seed is.
You might want to dodge. You do not want to let the pink ball hit you.
You get a really long dialogue if you do. So, remaining accurate to the vanilla game. I think he complains about how he likes being a ball and that the big guy just bullies him around whilst he's just the weak, unassuming kind.
That might be in the vanilla game. I think it's some kind of potion poem about the sea in Rando, but I haven't touched them in a while, so I don't remember.
And when you do touch them, you really don't want to remember. You're just mashing A to get through it as quickly as possible. It's the worst kind of accident, really. So in Super Bunny Cave, we have a Bomber's Medallion. RidleyDragon wandering around a bit on Death Mountain. But I think they're confused.
It's bombos to get into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, they're probably thinking they could get to East Arctic Mountain from in inverted, but that's not the case. You have to go from the top. That means fighting past those Lynels. You've got the cape though, so you can get past them without too much issue. But Linlinlin actually using their bombers here in Hookshot Cave to kill the berries, so looks like we've got some hovering coming up. There's a big key to Thieves Town.
Yeah, that chest is in logic with those boots. The others are not.
RidleyDragon is going straight to Castle Tower. I mean, he's got 2 checks here. I definitely wouldn't recommend going to... Well, this is a... but he can't get to Aghanim because he's got no sword.
Right.
I hope he's not thinking it's swordless.
Well, he may be thinking he can find out here.
We've got a map to Desert Palace. And Lynn's hopping over to that last chest. Oh, and another map. So there's one more chest for RidleyDragon, and if he's well, if he knows that he's not, well, if he's thinking it's a sword seed, then he's not going to continue on, hopefully. We've got another map to Ice Palace. Oh no, and he's continuing. Okay, so he's going to get to the top of the tower, and then he's going to get really stuck. So this is going to be a huge time sink for him. Oh no,
he's death warping.
Yeah,
okay.
Just death warping. Yeah, this gets him back to the front, and then he can proceed along Death Mountain. This is fine.
Meanwhile, Linlinlin heading over towards Palace of Darkness, I believe has 2 pod keys. With any kind of key shuffle mode, pod has a lot of chests because there's normally 6 small keys and a big key in here.
Compass to Mizumai in the first chest, and RidleyDragon accidentally lifts up the pot and has to go out for cave to reset the pot. It seems to be giving up on it for now. So not having a bottle or bow to proceed through the bowlock side of pod, Lynn has just burned a small key to get through into the middle section of pod here. Oh! We've
Yeah,
got the
this is a very
very
difficult
tricky.
hover.
Just one try and then it's done. I don't blame him. I think I've seen him try to do that particular hover before and not had much luck. It's extremely difficult, and you really don't want to spend too much time on it because it's going to be out of logic anyway. Might as well just continue on in pod, and key sanity can often prove to be quite linear, and especially in inverted now when everything's directing you to pod, then yeah, it's probably going to be linear. RidleyDragon takes another death, this time in Hookshot Cave, and that's going to put him right back at the beginning. So I think now it's just deliberate for after getting the chest. So he's going to make his way to hopefully Palace of Darkness now. Linlinlin's going for the other method of going into the Burlock Saddle pod and is going for the Mimic clip. So that Mimic's just going to skedaddle out of there.
That was a nicely done clip. I've seen people get stuck on that trick for a while.
And it was for a small key to Turtle Rock and a big key to Turtle Rock.
I really love seeing those, except, of course, those chests were out of logic.
We've got a crystal in Ice Palace. So I think RidleyDragon is probably, well, he hasn't checked this house yet, so he's going to get his, what was it here in the brewery? Oh yeah, it does a map to Tower of Hera. And then probably go to the archery game and farm up some cash, because I don't think he's checked digging game yet. Linlinlin grabbing first hard container in the back of pod.
I guess he can full clear thieves other than the big chest.
Ooh, Master Sword and Mirror in the basement of pod. Mirror is a very, very necessary item for inverted. And not wanting to burn a key here, you've got one of probably the most important trick in key sanity, which is the hammer jump in pod. You place yourself in the right place, you bomb across, and you just clip through that barrier, and you've saved yourself a key. Extremely useful trick. If you ever want to play key sanity, you should really learn it for pod. Not getting much from it though.
Meanwhile, Ridley could clear the dungeon here, but 3-heart blind with hammer is not a joke of a fight.
He's got the cape, so that will save him some hits at least if he wants to go attacking blind with his face. Not as useful as the Cave Burner, of course. But he would need to top up his magic for that because he's got basically no magic left.
Yeah, he also doesn't have a sword, so like you can use the cape, but not at the same time as the hammer.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that is going to be a rough fight for him. Linlinlin's also getting near 2 items from Castle Tower. You do have a sword if they wanted to go kill Aga 1 as well. Two swords, in fact.
Yeah.
With not many options available, this is definitely looking like a pretty lucrative play for Linlinlin. Of course, we do have the basement of Beef's Town here. This might have something for Ridley.
Yeah, this opens up a lot of items that are just laying there, in especially with the mirror.
So there's a small key to this dungeon. So Ridley can go get the big chest as well.
Hey, that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about that for later.
It does for $20 though.
I'd say
So
disappointing, but Ridley's actually still having some minor money issues.
yeah, so Liz24 is pointing out in chat, you get access to a lot of stuff in Bunny State in Inverted, even without the moon pole. So in Bunny State, you of course can't activate anything at all. You can't open chests, but you can still talk to NPCs, pick up stuff, and then take it to the other world, etc., etc.
Good first head from Ridley.
Takes 2 hits and is now into the really dangerous phase of blind.
Does some
Takes
bullet
another hit.
dodging, but yeah, that's going to be a very tough fight without the sword at that
If
health
3 hard
level.
blind comes up an awful lot in Inverted, and yeah, he's just going to give up on it now. Probably what he should be doing, he really needs to head over to Pod at this point. But he's going to go with Skullwoods instead. Or not, because he can't go that way. No mitts. Also, I have not been counting blue balls on the inside. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, we may or may not eventually see it on Ridley's side.
Yeah, both runners, if they choose to do Agger 1, will get the same amount of blue balls. That is not randomized. Unless you take a death on Agger 1, in that case it does get randomized.
Or miss a hit. In which case, it's still, not randomized. You're just seeing more of it.
This looks like 2 lightning strikes for Lin so far, so we've definitely had lots of blue balls so far, but that's a last hit for Lin. The first cast after a lightning hit is always going to be a regular projectile, but every other cast is going to be 50-50 chance of blue ball. So we've got a pendant at Hera and a crystal at Eastern Palace. Linlinlin cannot read the sign outside Castle Tower, so because he's got a bow on his head. So he's just going to continue on for now. And he's going to take the he's going to take the Depius to reset his bunny state. This will allow him to explore the Hyrule Castle and in his regular form without needing to worry about the bunny state. So he can actually do everything in here now. I do not remember if this is in logic yet or not I don't think it's in logic for Inverted. But it's definitely something you can and should do, especially if you're doing Agger 1 and going into Castle Tower. Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, I do not believe it is in logic, but it's certainly allowed.
Allowed and useful. And RidleyDragon knows about that full magic drop in the right room there in Skullwoods and gets himself a nice refill. Won't help him on blind, but, it's nice anyway.
I mean, the cape, you can still switch to the cape like during the Fireball's interlude, and there's mitts out of the boomerang chest.
So probably going to be seeing Lin do another Death Orb to the front end and checking out the escape sequence. Well, not the escape sequence, the back of escape. Ooh, hook shot.
Okay, well, that's a loaded escape sequence. Mitts are actually less useful in inverted. They are only hard required for King's Tomb, but the hookshot is, of course, very nice.
Yeah, because invert the King's Tomb is in the light world, you can't access it by mirroring from the dark world because mirror takes you from light world to dark world instead. So you always have to go use the mitts to get to the King's Tomb. And Smorky, Linlinlin is able to get through to the back of Escape.
Yeah, that key was up the castle tower, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was a small key to Hyrule Castle and a map to Hyrule Castle. So all your Hyrule Castle navigation just sitting in the tower. Not that a map to Hyrule Castle does anything. In Key Sanity, a map will tell you if a dungeon is a pendant or a crystal, so that has additional functionality, but it does nothing for a dungeon that can't be a pendant or a crystal either way. And Ridley's finally making the trip over to Pod. He's not going to get his small key to Turtle Rock and big key to Turtle Rock, most likely. But he is going to get some swords and a mirror. Oh, and he loses Kiki. Oh no, he loses Kiki the monkey, and now he doesn't have enough cash to get into Pod.
Appears to have been short even before that.
He would need another 5 rupees if he wanted to get into Pod actually, because it's 10 to pay off Kiki and then 100 to get in the dungeon. I do not think he has much experience with inverted because he has been avoiding the arrow game. The arrow game is, if you're lacking cash, your #1 source of getting cash. And yeah, he's just going to farm some more enemies hoping for cash drops here. Oh, Linlinlin struggling with a mirror portal there. Can't actually use it again.
I'm pretty sure that mirror portal is just gone.
He's still killing Snapdragons, Moblins, and Hinoxes outside Paths of Darkness, and he is not getting any rupee drop. And he loses Kiki again. And he walks into a Hinox and takes a death. He really should be heading to the archery game right about now and farming up some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not think he has much experience with inverted because he's still farming for cash outside here. The arrow game is not something you ever think about until you deal with inverted, and it's something you always think about once you played inverted. Well, he gets 5 rupees from a Moblin. He's still going to need 20 more.
Yeah, and it's hard to really blame him. The inverted, I think, was 10% on the weights.
He's going to be deforesting the entirety of the middle of the Dark World here. Lifting up every bush possible, bonking into trees. You just wander a little bit to the left. This is a fairy cave. You're not going to find money here, but if you just wander a little bit to the left, there's a certain house there with 20 rupees to get. I think it's 120 rupees each time.
I thought it was less than that, but maybe I'm wrong. I think you net like 108.
I must confess, it's been a long time since I've covered Inverted, so I do not remember the exact value for the archery game.
I usually do it twice, and then you have enough money for the opening of the seed, usually.
Yeah. He gets a 20 drop from a Hinox, so that should cover him unless he takes another hit with Kiki. And Linlinlin with a few swords and 6 hearts is probably going to have a much easier time with blind here.
The sword alone would make this a lot easier, because that will work with the cape if you have to.
Yes.
But you can also just
follow the script. So there's a script to blind where if you do the exact same movement and hit him at the exact same times, he will always do his fireballs and move about in a set pattern, and he can 100% avoid damage through a very consistent pattern of movement. You can't do that with a hammer, but he can with a sword. Oh no! And Ridley loses Kiki again.
And this time it will make the difference. He now needs 6 more rupees. Getting the green pendant there out of Thieves Town. But not going to be able to take that portal. To answer chat, yes, there is a setup that trivializes the archery game. If you just stand next to the guy and hit it at the right time as the target goes past, you'll be fine. But if you haven't done the archery game because you haven't played much Inverted, you might not know that.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the seed settings have thrown RidleyDragon for a complete curveball here. Because right now he is quite miserably desperately farming for cash from all the enemies and bushes he can find in the Dark World. And he's having very, very little luck with it. Now Linlinlin with that Aga defeat now has a portal out available just outside the moat before the pyramid in the Dark World, so you're going to be seeing a bit more Baron head here as Linlinlin explores the Light World. We don't know where that loophole is yet. Okay, another 20 drop for RidleyDragon, so if he takes a hit with Kiki, he will still be covered. Seems that the Hinoxes have a 20 rupees in as part of their prize pool. I'm sorry, you were saying?
I'm just happy for Ridley to escape the farming nightmare that he was trapped in there. And then green pendant turn in is a small key to GT.
Okay, and he's going to switch to the cape here so that he can just avoid dealing with the hopping things entirely. I don't remember the name for them. They just do a lot of damage if you do happen to run into them. The blob things with noodles coming from them.
I am the wrong person to ask about official Zelda enemy names, I'm afraid.
So Linlinlin's bride, once again, is the girl from the Secret of Mana. I believe her official name is...
Prim,
no, I don't remember.
I believe.
Prim, yeah. So it's Prim from Secret of Mana, and the bunny sprite is Prim with a bow on her head. I haven't played Secret of Mana in probably 20 years or so I don't remember where the bow comes from.
It was a protection item, I think. It's been a while for me too, though.
Metal Gear Solid 5C, yeah, I'm definitely getting that too. 20 rupees at the base game, not that Linlin can access it. And because Lin has defeated Aga 1, there's a lot of guards around here in the Kakariko area, so that's even more dangerous in bunny form. But he's going to pick up the Smith here, and doesn't have much room to work with, but does manage to get back into that mirror portal. And it's just guard dodging time. Unlike the Kiki the monkey, the blacksmith does not run away if you take damage. So this is one thing you can do in bunny form, and it's in logic if you have access to the mirror. Because interacting with the blacksmiths here does not really need you to be able to use items. So RidleyDragon finally grabs his first sword and the mirror down here in the basement of Pod. Probably feeling a lot better now. And also, this cash placement. There's so much cash for him now. Probably really happy about reaching here. Oh, but he's going to drain his magic by doing a death warp through the anti-fairies. Drains his health, drains his magic, but gets him back to the front.
Yeah, we still haven't really seen the progression on Lin's side from here. This is a long trip with this purple chest on 1.5 hearts.
Linlinlin kind of kiting the guard around there to the top plateau and then jumping off. Just a few fairly harmless Octoroks here to get in the way though, and a couple crows, but no, none of them are dangerous.
Yeah, we're past the areas that killing Aga 1 upgrades.
Well, you do get
well,
Aga 1 upgrade to crows in this area. You get 4 crows instead of 2, and also that really angry red guard who does aggros on you as soon as you enter the transition. So still nothing popping up for Lin here. So we've got inverted key sanity, and it's turning into a mean inverted key sanity too. So Linlin using that mirror to reset the guards and crows there, following him. So he's going to be able to check out the Maya shed from here. Also have a take a look at what's on Desert Leads. Oh, but I think they're called Geldmans. The sand creatures, the Sandmen from the desert anyway. So Linlin misses out what's on the Desert Palace ledge, and if they want to go back to Maya shed, they've got to walk back a long way with a barrel on their head.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to at least go into Meyer as well, right? If it's Bombos.
Yeah, and they can access most of Maya with using hook shoulder boots. Wouldn't be able to complete the dungeon without Kane, but you've got quite a few chests in there. Okay, 5, 6 were Dark Patterson. I missed the first one.
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods, okay. So that confirms a few more fat crystals. Again, we don't know how many crystals we need to get into GT or fight Ganon just yet. Unfortunately,
or if we need to get into GT. We don't know that either.
Is Fast Ganon even possible with inverted? I don't think it is.
I don't know.
No, hang on. I think you get a hole busted outside of the Agatar entrance in the Light World. So, obviously, there wasn't a hole there for when Lin finished the Agatar. So, it's not Fast Ganon.
Yes, so, that's true.
Yeah. So, it's not Fast Ganon.
Yeah, could be all dungeons still, though.
So there will be a signpost saying how many crystals makes Ganon vulnerable, but that's irrelevant because you're going to need how many crystals. Well, if it's less crystals and you need to enter GT, then it's irrelevant. But if you need like 3 crystals to enter GT, but 7 to make Ganon vulnerable, then yeah, we could be looking at progressing in GT.
It could also be Master Sword Pedestal, as chat points out. I actually did forget that was in the weight pool.
Oh, yep, true. There's a big key to GT.
Ah, yes, the bane of most key sanity players.
It looks like it is Bombos to enter Maya. Sword, hearts, and hammer in hand. RidleyDragon is now making the Agatar approach and gets poked to death by the blue guards of daggers.
Yeah, for those not super familiar with inverted, the Moon Pearl being in miserable places is actually a feature of the mode. It's possible for it to be in much, much worse places than it is in more standard settings. For example, on Trinex.
So in terms of checks that RidleyDragon can do in Light World, Lynn takes a step in front of Maya. I don't think the Bombus works on the Vizwobes.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, you can Quake them. That turns them into little blob creatures, and I think Quake also kills the little tentacle noodle guys. And I think Ether works too, but not Bobbers. But it looks like RidleyDragon's kind of stuck here. It definitely looks like the progression is locked behind Agatha here for him. I don't think there's anything else he can do right now, but he's looking kind of stuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's even like a chest elsewhere that he hasn't gotten.
He could go be blind, and that's about it. Oh, there's a bow.
Bow. That doesn't really get us very far right now.
Linlinlin already mimic clipped their way onto the bowlock side of pod, so that doesn't unlock anything there.
Although it does bring those Turtle Rock keys into logic.
And he could go into Eastern Palace and do a Death Revival, and then go clear Eastern Palace. But that's more walking around with a bow on your head.
Half magic out of Meyer as well. That's certainly not something they're going to mind.
So with a sword and a cape, RidleyDragon's going to take another poke at blind here. Playing very carefully with blind here, but not staying on the specific script for him, because of course once you've taken the depth to blind, he always starts in activated, and whatever script there is for blind only works when you have brought the maiden into the room. When he starts off in that portion of the room, you can't stay on the script for him. You just have to do it the old-fashioned reactive way. Dodge the fireballs as you go. And now that he's on the last phase of blind, he busts out that cape and goes for 3 free hits. Job done.
And grabs his pod key and green pendant.
Another key to GT there. So, yep, I think that pretty much covers it for RidleyDragon. The only option now is Castle Tower. And 4 hearts, Castle Tower is not a pleasant prospect.
Yeah, fighter sword as well.
Remind me, where did Linlinlin get their 2 swords from?
I believe the other one was Spectacle. Was it Spectacle Rock or somewhere?
Yeah, Spectacle Rock. There was a sword in there. So RidleyDragon could go grab that.
Hey, the Moon Pearl in the big chest of Misery Mire.
And there we go. So the mayor was in the basement of Pod. And then you would have to go over to my area here with a lot of bunny action and get that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, also red mail, which there's still a load of hearts that you don't really mind it. And now Linlinlin's world is their oyster. The thing about inverted is the opening is misery, but once you get that pearl and light world access, it tends to open up a lot and become much, much easier because you're very geared for parts of the game where you're supposed to be less geared.
There's another key to Ganon's Tower. I believe that's the third one now. So, big key and 3 keys to GT. I think we're going to be looking at progress in GT at this rate. Got a lot of keys coming up pretty early.
Let's see what we're doing here.
6 crystals to enter. Okay, maybe not. Pedestal victory!
Whoa!
Ooh.
Okay!
Okay, forget GT. Forget it entirely. We need 3 pendants.
Well, we have one, Thieves Town. We know Hera is another. And then it's Swamp or finishing Mire or Turtle Rock.
So if we wanted to do Maya, we need a cane. To do Swamp Palace, we need a hookshot. Well, not hookshot, flippers. And to do Turtle Rock, we need a bunch of rods and a cane again.
Yeah.
And we are lacking a Swamp Palace small key. You do need 1 small key if you want to make any progress in Swamp. Lacking quite a lot of Turtle Rock keys. And we have a big key for Maya, but I believe we need a small key for that as well.
I do not think that you needed one for a small for Mire.
If I remember correctly, there's a teleport room you can take by going up and over to the northwest, and that will circumvent your need for small keys. But I think you need a big key, but that is covered. Yeah, you need a big key to get into the teleport room, but if you were to do, say, like the God Maya route, then you would need a small key for that. And RidleyDragon's going for bomber strats here.
Yeah, don't blame him. Once there's, I believe, 2 hearts in this room that he can.
Hey, we got high 5 bombers.
Just gets one of the hearts. And the Pokeball of hammer pegs there. Lynn escapes it anyway.
Gets a shovel from the floating island.
Yeah, worth mentioning with the mirror and light world access, even without the cane, there's a lot of the chests in Turtle Rock that are accessible.
Yeah, Turtle Rock gets messy in inverted. There's a lot of platforms on East Light World Death Mountain that you can mirror from and get into new entrances to Turtle Rock. So you can circumvent a lot of your keys, and it becomes quite tricky to navigate. Another key to pod. Some more hard containers. Looks like RidleyDragon took a hit from the blue ball there. You don't want to stand too close to Aga when he's casting, because those blue balls will still hit you if you're too close to him. He's keeping his distance now.
You really don't want to take a death on Aga 1.
Okay, I didn't quite catch the map check there on Linlinlin's side. I think it's just the same things we've seen already.
Yeah, I don't think there was information on our 3 outstanding questions for the last pendant.
This is a long Aga 1 fight for Ridley. Of course, this he gets exact same fight as Linlinlin here, and they had a really long fight too. There's that cane.
All right. That's mire clearable.
It looks like Linlinlin's going to be setting up a hair boss here. Having no big key for Hera, you can't actually complete the dungeon, but the hair pot circumvents that. You simply clip yourself into the pot, use a hookshot to access the other side of that pot, and boom, you use the teleport tile to get to the top floor. No big key necessary. Sequence broken. And considering this is a pedestal seed, we're definitely going to be looking at sequence breaking here. We're not going to be wanting to get key completion.
This could be a monstrous sequence break. Like the big key to Tower of Hera could be like in GT or something.
I mean, the seed could still be mean if we still need to access GT for like Fire Rod and Ice Rod with Fatal Rock Pendant or something. There's still huge potential for mean. There's
definitely a chance. It's just that this might be bypassing the way that the seed is supposed to be mean.
There's another Turtle Rock key. And the second of 3 keys to, 3 pendants to finish the seed. But where's that last pendant? We don't know. And it could be awful.
In fairness, between Mire, Turtle Rock, and Swamp, we know it's awful. It just could be different degrees of awful.
There's a big key on the library for RidleyDragon. Of course, being in bunny form, he can't get it. Just kind of has to look at it a bit and contemplate his fate. So we know he's got to get over to Maya area to get his moon pearl. He's wandering around a bit confused again. He wants to check Hammerpegs, yeah. Linlinlin checking out the basement of Hera. Just 3 bombs.
All right, let's see what Lin does next.
Do you take the gamble that Mizumai is a pendant and just go to that right now and finish it? He can finish it with that cane.
I think so. If I'm feeling good, yeah. I mean, you've got the bow even. Yeah, because if it is, you're done and you win. Yeah, so you do it.
Got a 1 in 3 chance of that being a missing pendant right now. If not, well, it's just a crystal. It might get into Ganon's Tower if you need to go into Ganon's Tower. RidleyDragon mirror bonking here a bit, trying to retrieve a blacksmith. He just got to be on the left there, so a couple squares over to the left. Line yourself with that left wall of the library. Yeah, Linlinlin's heading back into Maya. Finish the boss. If you've got a pendant there, job's done. You don't need to worry about any of the mess that's in the rest of his seed. So whilst we see Linlinlin go to the back of Maya using that big key, please do give our runners a follow. They've been putting on a great race so far. Unfortunately, Linlinlin does have a really significant head start over RidleyDragon here, and it's going to be very, very hard for him to catch up at this point. It would take pretty grave mistakes on Linlinlin's parts for him to catch up, but they're still putting on an excellent race, so please do give him a follow. So, RidleyDragon is activating a Super Bunny here to check out the well in Kakariko. So that's a small key to missing Maya. A bottle, a mushroom. You can check that bottle in bunny form still. So Ridley can go over and hand in the bottle to the sick kid now. And we've got Fire Vitreous coming up for Linlinlin. They're just going to go for the cape and spam Vitreous with Master Sword swings, because whilst you're swinging your sword, you drain actually less magic. It's not a big deal either way since he's got cape anyways. But if you ever find yourself with cape at Vitreous and a small sword, spam away.
Well, Master Swords, Fire Sword slashes don't do anything.
Oh, and that's a crystal.
Yeah, it didn't work out, but it didn't cost that much time. So, I think that's the play you have to make. That is definitely what Ridley needed to see, though. And is heading in the right direction with that purple chest. We'll hopefully continue on into Mire and get the Moon Pearl. So yeah, we are down to Swamp or Turtle Rock for our last pendant.
Not even up. Yeah, both are disgusting. You're going to need 2 wards for Turtle Rock. You're going to need flippers for Swamp. And we could well be looking at one of those items being in GT at this point.
Oh yeah.
Because it's 6 crystals to enter GT. Oh, this could end up so badly.
Yeah, Swamp also, as Chad is pointing out, you will need the small key.
Yep, and small key for Swamp in Key Sanity is pretty notorious for being just about anywhere.
Lynn already has the necessary minimum keys for Turtle Rock. We're 2 items away from killing Tronex. So. And speaking of items that are notorious for possibly being anywhere, I think the Ice Rod may have a reputation for that.
So we could be looking at a small key hunt or an Ice Rod hunt. This is pretty awful. Luckily, Linlinlin does have items to get to a lot of the rest of the seed, so we've got a lot of chests to clear out, a lot of item checks to do, hopefully pick up more small keys and make our way through the rest of this inverted key sanity. It looks like RidleyDragon is not going into Mire. Oh. He's going back to Pod. Is he? No, he's going south. Where's he going? Ice Palace?
I mean, I guess.
Big Key just got woods in the chicken hut.
Among our more useless of big keys. Opens up 1 check.
Yeah, Lynn's draining their magic here, so they're going to be doing some fake powder on the magic batch very shortly. And we've got another big key from Sick Kid. That's the Eastern Palace big key. That's a good one. Well, not good because it's a crystal, but it opens up Almus Knights. There could be an item locked behind there. So Linlinlin now is going to, with no magic, it's going to, well, okay, not quite no magic. Okay, yeah, it's still fine.
Yeah, as long
Can
as you
activate,
can't spawn a block, it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to actually be dry.
Yeah. Piece of heart from Magic Band. Mushroom saved, can hand it in later for something else. Really, Linlinlin has a lot of places they can go right now that they can clear out, but none of them are progression as such. We need a pendant. And we don't know where that pendant is, and we don't know, well, once we find out that pendant, we don't know where the items are to clear those pendant dungeons.
Well, there's that Tower of Hera big key that Linlinlin bypassed earlier. Hopefully something they need isn't in the big chest of Tower of Hera.
Another bottle in the dig spot. And yeah, RidleyDragon's back to wandering around in circles again. He's stuck. He needs to go into Maya. He's probably not thinking he can go into Maya. Not sure he even checked it. We're going to drain the water here outside Swamp Palace. We can't actually get into Swamp Palace without the flippers. But there's a couple item checks otherwise.
Yeah, so we're going to get our South Shore check an hour and 6 minutes in, as you normally see.
Yeah, pretty typical for Inverted. We've got a map there. It's a map to Pod.
Yeah, we already
Useless.
know that's a red crystal.
Ridley's gonna hand in that green pendant.
Yeah, we already saw this from Linlinlin.
Yeah, he's doing quite a lot of checks that Lynn's already done long ago because this Inverted Seed is just really throwing him for a loop here. I think this is probably one of the worst possible game modes he was dreading of encountering, and well, he's encountered it. That's Mystery Seed.
Yeah, I guess at least it's not cross keys.
I mean, cross keys key sanity is in some regards much easier than regular key sanity. It tends to make your routing much more linear, if I remember correctly, and so you're not like wandering around first places going to, oh, I need a key to go into here to get a key to go back over here to get a key for this place. It's tends to be less broken up than that. But I have never played cross keys key sanity myself, and it's been a long time since I've covered it too. So Linlinlin setting up a water walk here using an Ice Rod Cave. Going to check out the Lake Hylia Islands. There's a small key on top. Just going to leave that behind for now. You can of course just run up there. But without flippers, I don't think there's a way to really activate fake flippers there. And He could drop a bunch of bombs and arrows and some iron blocks to activate the ancilla deletion, delete the splash bite, and get a small key. Oh no, it's a big key to swamp.
Well, that's okay. If we need that, then you know, number one, it means there's something in the big chest because nothing else in swamp needs that. And number two, we would have the flippers.
Yeah,
right?
I got super excited there. I thought it was a small key to swamp. Still wouldn't be useful just yet because we're gonna need flippers from somewhere. If we're looking at either flippers and small key or 2 rods for Turtle Rock. And that's a GT key, not what we want to see. So yeah, Linlinlin's going to drop some blocks here, fire some arrows and a few bombs. This puts enough sprites on the screen to delete their splash bite, so without the splash bite, game thinks it's swimming. Fake flippers activated.
Still very high on the list of jankiest glitches in this game.
I mean, we keep seeing more glitches come out year by year. We've now got icebreaker eclipse in Ice Palace and acting like you're underwater in Swamp Palace called Diver Down. You just jump in the water, you walk on it, but you can still check all the stuff underneath and walk through the door. Oh, RidleyDragon takes a death in Spike Cave. Did not have enough magic and health to get through it. He just needs to go to Maya at this point.
Yeah, there's just not going to be a way around the moon crawl. Well, that's interesting.
That's a book.
Yeah, and inverted, that's hard required for Desert Palace, which is a crystal, but if we need our 6 crystals to get into GT for whatever has our last pendant. There's also just, 5, 6 chests in Desert.
Gonna see a quick mushroom hand in first.
Yeah, I love that setup for that fake flipper over to the mushroom spot.
I don't think it saves that much time because Lynn already has boots and could just dash up here. But it's nice to see anyway.
Speaking of not saving that much time, but swag.
And just 10 hours on the mushroom, so nothing at Magic Bat, nothing at mushroom. Even more fake flip action to not go back where they're coming from. No, he's Linlinlin's going to check out Kingston. Big heart container. RidleyDragon could open up Turtle Rock, but they have no magic. And they wouldn't be able to get anywhere in Turtle Rock anyway.
Oh,
Flippers!
hello. Well then. Might just need that Swamp Palace small key.
Which could be anywhere. It could be in GT. And we'll hate everything about that.
I mean, Swamp Base also might just still be the last crystal instead.
In which case we still need 2 tools for Turtle Rock, Fire Rod and Ice Rod. None of this is looking good right now. And I think RidleyDragon was checking Hookshot Cave again. He's wondering what he's missed. He doesn't know that he can just get into Maya. I think this was just a red rupee here at Lumberjack. Oh no, it's a big key.
Oh,
Ice Palace.
okay. Again, opens up one chest for most runners, but hey.
A map. That's valuable. What map is this? It's Skullwoods. Never mind.
Our useful maps are also sitting in GT.
RidleyDragon is farming for something. I don't know what. Magic?
Sure.
Just getting a skull creature and a bee for their troubles. More bees. You cut down a lot of bushes, you're gonna get a lot of bees. Linlinlin has a lot of places to check, and not very much to do the rest of the siege with.
Yeah, that potion buy feels like Ice Palace. Also, the fact that I'm headed in the general direction of Ice Palace.
Yeah, not enough magic to use a bomber, so immediately going to use that blue potion to melt the freezer here. RidleyDragon is pretty much wandering around in circles at this point. He seems very hard stuck on this. Oh, did he not check out Super Bunny Cave? No, he's just going around again.
I think he had. Is he opening TR?
Yeah, he went around Turtle Rock before. Yeah, he's opening TR, but this doesn't do anything for him.
Yeah, he's just going to walk in and look at the gap that he can't do anything about. Oh, hey, small key to Ice Palace.
So you get a fuel magic refill and a hint tile that doesn't work. And yeah. And speaking of Icebreaker, we're probably going to be seeing Linlinlin pull this off here.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this trick yet. Not one I've learned, so I'm interested to watch it.
So if you put a Samaya block in the right place and maneuver yourself in just the right way, you will clip through that barrier. I haven't looked too much into like the specific pacing of where you have to do the icebreaker, but it's something I'm going to be practicing myself because I hate the Ice Palace bomb jump. There's a flute, not useful. It gets you more mobility, but it doesn't really unlock anything in inverted.
Yeah, it's more convenience than anything else. And it's not going to be that much of that at this point in the siege. It's also way less exciting in early find because you have to activate it in the light world, but it gets you around the dark world.
Okay, RidleyDragon gets through this time for the piece of heart in Spike Cave. They do not know the answers in Maya. He's taking a good long look at his chest now.
Yeah, This is one of those things about, like, inverted is brutal to the unfamiliar. Hopefully he will see it, but I certainly don't blame him if he hasn't done any inverted seats for not seeing that Meyer is the answer. And we're going to see Lynn enter the cold stare fight here.
Yeah, RidleyDragon checking Hype Cave again. He thinks he's missed something. This is really unfortunate to see. He can't swim, so he can't jump in the water. But he can head over to the west, get into... We're over to... take the portal over to Light World, then get over to the desert, portal over to Maya, get in Maya. He has checked out Maya's shed, he just hasn't gone in Maya.
And he knows about that portal because he was just farming near it. He's heading there now, so he might have it. Okay.
And just checking his personal tracker, it doesn't seem like he has Maya marked as any medallion yet, so he didn't even look.
Yeah, I don't know if he's thought about getting to the Maya area yet.
Well, he's been into Maya's shed, but he just hasn't looked at Maya.
Okay.
Yet another key to Turtle Rock and a tempered sword in the back of Sahasrara's hut.
You don't really even need the tempered sword. You're not even fighting Ganon today. But you won't say no.
Yeah, at this point we're going to be looking at Crystal Dungeon clears because we don't have anything else to do. We need a small key to swap. And that may be a pendant. And if it's not the pendant, then we need a Fire Rod and Ice Rod for Turtle Rock instead.
Yeah, the Fire Rod would at least open up a few more options.
And if we don't find either of those things, and yet we end up with 6 crystals, we're going to be looking at going into Ganon's Tower.
Yeah,
so we could still be a long way from done here.
The pre-fill, I know, normally Ganon's Tower gets pre-filled with garbage items to prevent it from having progression too often. Or not progression, but just all of your safeties, because it can't hold progression normally. I know that gets reduced some as the entrance requirement goes down. I don't remember the exact amount.
So luckily Eastern Palace being a dungeon with no small keys required, you just need a big key view. There's a map. It's Ganon's Tower. Game, why do you do this?
Well, now Now we can find where it is.
Well, there's another map. It's Turtle Rock.
Okay, well, there's going to be our answer to which one we need the next time Lynn is in the Dark World.
Might as well finish the dungeon at this point, because we're still looking for either Small Key or Fire Rod and Ice Rod, but this is going to be our last missing info for the seed. Poor Ridley is still wandering around in circles. I'm not sure how long it's going to take Ridley to get to Maya, and it would take a really critical power outage or complete save deletion on Linlinlin's side for them to be losing the race at this point. This is just such a huge time advantage that it's so unfortunate to say, but I really don't see any way Ridley can catch up short of absolute complete disaster on the Linlinlin side.
Yeah, it's hard to see it, especially with the, once Lynn has the pieces, it's going to end very quickly. It's not like the normal seeds where you have a long end game of GT and such. It's just going to be go to the Master Sword pedestal and that's it.
It's a Fire Rod.
Yeah. So that could be half our answer. And even if it's not, that gives us access to Skullwoods. We're still missing the Pod Big Key, right? Yeah.
Alright, Turtle Rock, what do you got for us? It's a pendant. We need Ice Rod.
Alright. Yep, so it's a traditional Ice Rod hunt instead.
Oh. And I'm sure that Ice Rod can totally be in Ganon's Tower, right?
There are exactly one locations that the Ice Rod could not be in, that is on Trinex.
Okay, so we still could be looking at tracking down Flippers and Small Key for, well, we've got Flippers. We could still be looking at tracking down Small Key for Swamp Palace to get 6 crystals, to get into GT to find Ice Rod there. This isn't over yet, but Ice Rod could literally be anywhere at this point, and Linlinlin still has a whole bunch of locations to check before possibly reaching into Ganon's Tower. So with any luck, we'll be finding that Ice Rod somewhere else. And then we can just pop into Turtle Rock, get it done, pull that pestle.
Yeah.
And the RidleyDragon is back in my area, but they're avoiding my area.
Also, Chad is protesting that Ice Rod can't be on Ped. Ped doesn't have an item this game, it's just the end of the game.
Yeah, I think Chad's trolling a bit. But there's a pod key. Not a big key, though.
Yeah. Just some small keys back for the jumps.
So RidleyDragon save and quit it out of my area because they can't do checkable cave, they can't do a Gina. Yeah, he's stuck.
Yeah. Look at a high five on these stairs.
He's been up the mountain probably like 5 times already. He's just really good. He's just going on in circles at this point.
So yeah, I mean, there's how many locations in Turtle Rock that Lynn is going to be able to check? It's going to be everything except Trinex.
think they need one more small key if they want to check out the lava chest. Or they could check out lava chest and then miss a small key to get 2 Trinex. Brits.
Well, I mean, they could always come back in through Laser Bridge,
Yeah,
though, and
because
just
you can't do
go back.
Trinex either way without an ice rod. Yeah, I've had a look at RidleyDragon's own tracker on his stream. He hasn't marked Maya, so he doesn't know that he can get in Maya. I don't think he's even looked at it or is even thinking about getting into there. He's probably getting confused and thinking, well, he might be getting confused and thinking because he's stuck in Super Bunny and can't do, well, not Super Bunny, in Bunny State and can't do anything in Bunny State. That means he can't use a medallion to get in Maya, even though that's Dark World. I just can't think. He's been through the area at least twice already, but he's avoiding it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what. It looks like Lynn's gonna go take one of the other entrances into TR and work backwards.
Oh, apparently he was chat saying was low on magic looking at Maya, so he's going back there now, and he's got a full magic meter. It's gonna be good. Meanwhile, we're seeing some of these alternate entrances into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the Laser Bridge one being among the most useful just because it's a quick 4 chests here.
We've got a bug net, 20 rupees, a blue boomerang, and a piece of heart on Laser Bridge. So 4 items on Laser Bridge, but not a nice rod. Okay, he's now opening up Maya. This is great. This is what he needs to do.
Yep. And it'll be good to see him getting back on track.
₹300 by the spike bar in Turtle Rock. We're getting a lot of items in Turtle Rock, but they're not small keys or an ice rod. And really, the only small key that we want is a Swamp Palace small key, and you don't really want that. You want an ice rod instead. So Lynn's looping around. Looks like they are going to check the lava chest here. I mean, with this being inverted, I don't think you have to burn all your small keys in inverted anyway, so he can check out all the items here as far as I know.
Yeah, when you go backwards through a few of these doors, well, number one, you don't even have to go through a couple of them, but when you go backwards, some of them don't actually burn the key.
So Ridley grabs his bow. That gets him his keys on the east side of pod, but nothing else. It's just an additional offensive option. We know his moon powers here, and half magic.
Yeah, the Moon Pearl is in the big chest, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Oh good, it's the compass to GT.
Do we have everything for GT? I think we have everything for GT. We've got the map, we've got the compass, we've got the big key.
And
Maybe
I believe
missing a
it
small
is
key.
4 keys. I think it's 4 keys, I'm not totally sure. It's more keys than you ever actually need unless you open that middle door. And I guess we're getting a ether tablet check here.
when you're hunting for nice road, you gotta go for every obscure location, because it could be anywhere.
And gonna check that big chest of Tower of Hera just to not get chumped out by that earlier Hera pot.
Moon Pearl for Ridley. He's got to be feeling so bad right now. And he's got a supersonic too. Smoky Ice Palace. Ah.
That's not needed.
So pessimistic scenario, if we are needing to go into Ganon's Tab, we still need a big key for Desert Palace too, as well as that small key for Swamp Palace.
Well, we need one or the other. It was 6 crystals to get in, right?
Oh yeah, it was 6 crystals. I'm thinking Turtle Rock's a crystal for some reason. So yeah, a big key to Desert or a small key for Swamp.
And Lynn finishes cleaning out the mountain of the chests that were missed earlier. And now there's a bunch of kind of bad-ish options. I'm guessing Skullwood's next. So just as kind of a refresher for those who might just be joining us, our mystery seed today turned out to be an inverted key sanity pedestal seed, in the sense that pulling the ped wins the game. And Lynn is Ice Rod away from killing Trinex for that last pendant, but that could be literally anywhere. Other than all the places we've checked, pedestal and Trinex.
So with little options left to do, Linlinlin is going to probably start finishing off Crystal Dungeons.
Maybe we'll see a pedestal check here. I believe it just says you win.
And this being key sanity, you can't leave any stone unturned. You want to be grabbing all chests, because any of those chests could be keys. Well, there's a map to Swamp, so now you can find out what your last crystal is. And if Lynn had gone to Skullwoods before Turtle Rock, then by process of elimination, they would have found out that the Turtle Rock is the last pendant that way. How typical that the last maps that you find are the ones you need to finish the seed. At least know which you need to finish, with which to finish the seed.
I'm actually not sure. I think Lynn might have like all but one of the maps at this point.
small shield from Morphila.
Yeah, and first of our 5-6 crystals, with a pod big key, can do a pyramid fairy check.
Linlinlin going back into Skullwoods. I don't think they missed any items. They cleared this up pretty early on in the seed to get bombs and to do Hive Cave with.
Did they ever come back for the big chest? I don't remember.
Ah, yeah, big chest, that's it. Yeah, big chest. As we can see, Linlinlin has clearly come prepared for inverted key sanity. Not proving to be any hindrance to him, but poor RidleyDragon was really thrown around in circles by that Moon Pearl in Misery Mire. He's finally making progress, but he's so far behind now that it's going to require absolute disaster on Linlinlin's side for them to be losing this race.
Alright, we're going to see a desert check here. Or, okay, I'm wrong. I guess this is somewhere else. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I'm pretty sure they already checked Ugina.
Gonna take a quick look at Desert though. There is a small key on the desert ledge.
And they'll be able to grab 4 items out of here, I believe.
They won't be able to check the big chest, and they won't be able to get to the background land Moluses. They're also missing the small key for Desert Palace, so they can't get to the right side either. There's not much.
Yeah. I just read the chart. Thought they had the small key. Butter sword. That's a lot less items.
It's just going to be grabbing that back chest, whatever's on the torch, and then going over to grab Desert Ledge. And that's just a shield on the torch.
Yeah. Although it's entirely possible that Desert Ledge is the Desert Palace small key.
Yeah, we are looking pretty key complete. I think there's one more Ice Palace small key to acquire, and but this could be Desert Palace or Swamp Palace.
Yeah,
it's Swamp.
Mire keys. Okay, that's not bad. Other than now we can do Swamp, but there's a lot of items in Swamp in Key Sanity.
Yep, there's a lot of items in Swamp, and that will also unlock Ganon's Tower, and there's a lot of items in Ganon's Tower, and oh boy, this is looking like quite a completionist seed.
Well, they'll need to clear Desert Ore Pod.
Oh yeah, true. They would have to finish Pod.
Well, in either case, they're going to need a big key of some kind, but there's a good chance it's here in Swamp. Ridley heading the right direction to get the mitts and hook shot now, I think. Or not. Okay, not. Never mind.
He's going to check these signs. 6 crystals into GT. Doesn't check the other sign to see his pedestal finish. Probably doesn't know about it. Oh, there was one map left. It's Misery Mire. So again, this being Key Sanity, no stone left unturned. You gotta find your keys, you gotta find your items. They could be literally anywhere. So probably gonna be seeing left side from Linlinlin. maybe even before finishing Argus, because if you're finding that ice rod, then you don't need to finish Argus. And poor RidleyDragon now making their way through the front of Escape. They get the Titan Smiths, which again only unlocks King's Tomb, so not that useful. But Chad's asking how far he's behind. I've got to say well over an hour at this point. Like, probably an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. It's a really big deficit. He just got completely stuck by the logic that Inverted was throwing at him. That's a small key to Skullwoods.
That is not useful. Nor is that.
Meaning, Key Serenity, you do get a lot of garbage items thrown at you around the seed that are never going to be useful. Maps can be useful, especially useful since this was a pedestal seed, actually. But you still get your useless keys that you will never use, and in. So is this diver? Yeah, it's diver down.
Okay.
But just in the room I've never seen it done. I mean, sure, it works. This is a swag at this point, I think. I never thought about diver down being used there, but sure, you can do it. Just instead of opening a chest underwater and then going through a door, you're going through a door and then lifting a pod.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume at this point that Lynn knows what he's doing and that I don't. So I'm still not sure how he's getting to the vanilla big key chest.
RidleyDragon sees the other chest, the sign on the outside castle tower, and then takes a mere bog for the sake of it. Did he read the sign? I don't think he did. I think he did. He gets a bit because he immediately does a map check and gets the bad news that there's no pendants on his map. And yeah, we're going to see the usual diver down spot here, which is going to be you're just down here, place my block in the right place, clip yourself into a barrier, and then you kind of jump off the ledge. Or you can use a bomb to do it. Huh, okay. No smite block necessary. There's that pod key.
There's our GT access.
Oh boy. There's powder. Yeah, we're definitely running dry on locations now. It is definitely looking like Ice Rod GT. Ugh.
Yeah, the map was starting to lean that way. Now that said, there's within GT and then there's within GT. You know, if it's in Hope Room, that's one thing. If it's on the Moldorm 2 chest, that's another thing.
Links to the past, Ken. I do not assume anything about Ice Sword at this point. I do assume it's going to be in Ganon's Tower because there's much greater chance of it being there than here on Argus or on Helmasaur King. That's the compass in Argus. So it's either going to be on Helmasaur King at this point, or it's going to be in GT. And odds are it's GT. Where in GT? I don't know. We're not going to be looking for a big key for Ganon's Tower, so we're not going to be doing the guessing game for that, but we can do a guessing game for Ice Rod and GT. It can't be in Turtle Rock because we've already seen the full clear of Turtle Rock from Linlinlin, except for Trinex itself. so it's not internal rock. So, if you want to get a guess in for where you think the ice rod is in Ganon's tower, you can do that after Helmasaur. So, start getting ready, I guess. We're heading to Palace of Darkness.
Oh, I've already constructed my miserable scenario. It's fine.
So, and Linlinlin has pretty much full cleared everything. Like, this has been an excellent routing and execution of this inverted key sanity pestle seed. And it's still taking Linlinlin over 2 hours because his ice rod is just the worst thing ever. But it's still a masterclass in clearing. Oh, actually, Linlinlin has got one more chest in pod that they haven't checked. Must be the big key chest. Oh yeah, it would be the big chest because, of course, it needed a big key to get to Helmasaur. So
Yeah.
probably going to be seeing that before Helmasaur. Or not.
No, there's still, a lot more items in GT.
I mean, he'll probably be going to the big key, well, the big chest after Helmasaur instead.
Yeah, I don't know. It could still be in desert. We've still got items there we haven't been able to check. We would need to find those keys, which are most likely in GT at this point. But
I mean, that's just even worse. Do we really want to find a small key somewhere in Ganon's tower so we can go back to Desert Palace, or big key to Desert Palace in GT, and then go back to Desert and find the ice rod there? Do you really want that? I don't. That's just the most malicious piece of logic I could think of at this point. I've got RidleyDragon taking on Moldorm here. I'm pretty sure he did read that sign and saw it's a pestle finish. Because he's going to get his second pendant here, but he's so far behind. And linked to the basket, this is key sanity mode. So we're not going to be concerned with how many items in desert, because it could be many items in desert and no map or compass or keys at all. So yeah, the number of items in a dungeon is literally going to be governed by randomness and how many chests are in the dungeon. And occasionally torches. Oh, there's a big key to desert.
okay, that's kind of interesting. This does also open up the Pyramid Fairy check.
Okay, well, let's see where Linlinlin goes next. Desert, Pyramid Fairy, or GT? Okay, well, big chest first.
Yeah, playing it very conservative here. You've got to think both runners are starting to think there's going to be a dot done any moment, especially now that they both know it's a pedestal seed.
I don't know. Linlinlin has had pretty good routing through all of this. And
Yeah.
I reckon they're probably feeling... they're definitely not feeling behind, I reckon. I think they're probably feeling ahead of anything.
Yeah, not gambling on that being nothing kind of does say Lynn thinks they're ahead and don't want to choke it away.
Right, well, if you want to take a good guess, well, to GT, get your numbers in chat right now.
My guess is right side of desert.
You monster. Okay, number 1, Quaker Medallion. Number 2, 20 rupees. And because we got a bunch of small keys, we can still continue right anyway. Not going for the tower room gamble because we haven't been driven to that much madness just yet. If he'd gone desert before GT, then maybe.
Yeah, I don't actually remember how many item locations there are in here when you're not just looking for the big key. I guess it's what, 27.
So it's normally
total?
22 if you're doing a big key hunt. This is going to be 3 to number 6 in here. I think it's about 26 or 27 total. You have to include the big chest as well, of course.
Yeah, there's the big chest, and then there's 4 on the way up. I am familiar with those 4.
So 27. There's another shield on the torch for check number 7.
For a pedestal seat, this collection rate is going to be a monster number at the end.
I mean, you only leave items behind when they're sitting out in the open. You gotta check all the chests, because you need keys. And you need items. Tests 8 to 11, nothing. Number 12, the firebar room, 20 rupees. And number 13, the fire snake room. 20 rupees. I'm very glad this seat doesn't have Randomizer, because we could also be looking at a boss on ice here. Luckily it's just going to be Armor's Knights, but if we had Randomizer, there could also always be something nasty on ice, like Trinex.
If we had Randomizer, it might not be Trinex at the end of TR, in fairness, in which case you wouldn't need the ice rod.
Yeah, true. Very true. Number 17, still nothing. Going for that big chest before the Ice Armor's room, which is a smart choice.
High on the
It's
list
easy
of
to forget
rare
about.
scene checks in Randomizer.
Say hi to Bob, because we didn't grab the shield on the torch. I've not gotten to see Bob much this league. I'm glad to see him again.
Yeah, Ridley about to get the bad news that this is not, in fact, Wither.
20 red rupee, 21 10 hours, 22 red rupee.
Yeah, like tile room upstairs or somewhere else, Lynn. Although that would just be desert for, the big chest. And the
I
vaults.
would be leaving Ganstat at this point without a desert small key.
Yeah, no.
Because so the big key unlocks 2 checks. It's the big chest and Lamb Molus. And then the small key is also 2 checks. It's the 2 chests on the right side. You definitely want both of those going in, because otherwise it's going to be a 50-50 gamble.
Yeah, there is still the big red bomb as well. That's another 2 checks outside of here. So it's kind of even-ish at this point, because we're sitting on 6 more chests in GT. Or no, not even 6-5. One of the, I'm looking at the compass count, but one of those is the torch that didn't get picked up.
Silver arrows.
Nice. Now we can kill Ganon. Lynn is not going upstairs yet.
Okay, so we've got the 50-50 desert gamble here. And if it's not... Oh, no, Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy first. You're right here. To those unfamiliar with pedestal victory condition, if you try to kill Ganon, he will eventually go invincible, I believe, during phase 4, and call you a dingus. Or technically not invincible, just his health refills to max every frame.
Okay, Pyramid Fairy, piece of heart, single arrow.
Single arrow.
Back into GT, I guess, or desert. Probably GT. Nope, flute. Desert.
Desert. So now I'm really hoping for that right side desert.
Oh. Two checks in desert.
Yeah.
If it's not the ice rod.
Okay for Landmo with 17 hearts, butter sword, silver arrows.
Maybe the good needs to go get a potion first.
It's got a fairy, I believe.
Yeah, you already did that back chest, because that was the only thing you could do here in Desert Lin. Big chest. Ice rod. Ice rod. Heart container.
18 hearts.
Okay, 1 in 3. If it's in desert, 1 in 3 chance coming up that's on land murders. If not, it's a GT climb. And then we might just not find it there. It's going to be a small key to desert, and then we have to go back in to get it. And your right side desert comes true.
Oh,
and I hate you forever for it.
I wondered if Lynn might steal the small key because that gives you 2 chips instead of 1.
How much are you predicting anger after Slam Murder's kill? I think there might just be a frustration slash or 2. I'd be bonking into the wall repeatedly without picking up the crystal myself.
You got a race on, you gotta finish it in time for frustration.
Doesn't quite get it on 1 cycle Slam Murder, so he does escape those second firework shots, but gets it done on this on the second cycle because he got Gold Sword. Piece of heart! Oh.
Doesn't even pick up the crystal, which is fine. There's no reason to.
Oh no.
We won't actually have an all dungeons or all bosses kill because there's no reason to kill Aga 2. But, you know, after this climb, effectively all dungeons.
So we're back to guessing in Gans Tower if it's in well, back to guessing game in Gans Tower if it's Ice World is in here.
I guess it's still live.
Mangling my words so much. So they've got 4 chests in the top of GT, and they are all in the top floor. So we're going to be seeing a Land Modus 2 at the very least, and most of the Gauntlet. I think if I found the Ice Rod in the Moldorm 2 chests, I'd just go kill Agatu out of spite. Because I know at this point I would have lost anyway. But in Linlinlin's case, they've got to be feeling pretty confident. Their glitch execution was on point, their sequence makes on point, general routing, execution, all absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and at this point you know that it's been necessary, I'm pretty sure. Although, I guess Spiral Cave might still be outstanding, I'm not totally sure.
The chat was saying that Linlinlin had skipped Spiral Cave. And I'm not sure about that. Oh yeah, they've got to powder the Bunny Beam here. This time they remember to have silver arrows for Land Modus and can actually one-shot the Land Modus with, with silvers. So just going for gold swords.
And Lynn's team name has indeed been appropriate. I think we can call this a last location Ice Rod. Maybe not literally to the check, but certainly to the place. And just seeing this GT climb, we thought we were going to avoid for a little while.
Pedestal Seed? None of that nonsense. You still got Ganon's Tower for you.
Well, if it wasn't a pedestal seed, they could just beat the game at this point.
Okay, 24, 3 bombs, 25, compass to Turtle Rock.
Yes, that's where we want to go, Turtle Rock. Thank you, game.
I mean, sure, Ganon might call you a dingus, but the signpost already said you're a dingus for seeing that it's a pedestal seed, so you're not avoiding the dingus accusations, no matter what with this seed.
I believe this might have to be the Desert Small Key.
It's either Desert Small Key or Ice Vault, it can't be anything else. Unless we're missing Spiral Cave. And I don't think we are. Bottle? Bottle?
Okay, I guess we are missing Spiral Cave. Or somewhere else that I'm just completely blanking on. If the Ice Rod's been in Spiral Cave this whole time.
I'm gonna need to lie down after this. I think we just got the ultimate debated. I mean, the true last location is for getting a location, and then getting that as your last location, whilst clearing everything else. That is the true last location. We could be seeing Linlinlin fulfilling their true destiny here.
Sure, it's possible.
I think RidleyDragon already did Spike Cave, so it's not here.
Yeah, Ridley actually did this location. I'm looking forward to seeing the collection rate at the end of the seed.
I think he knows he skipped Spiral Cave, and that was a conscious decision. And now is really, 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 really regretting it. Because he's heading straight there. It's not like he's forgotten it.
Yeah. It's like he's aware.
Oh yeah, gotta take the portal to Light World. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the amount of times I've seen people skip Spiral Cave and they come back to Burnham has been... It's not in the double-digit range, but it's very close to that. Don't skip Spiral Cave. Please. Just don't. Just don't.
Alright, is this going to be the Desert Small Key or the Ice Rod?
It's Ice Rod.
It's Ice Rod.
I hope you heard that. That's me facepalming.
I mean, that could have opened the door back up for Ridley a lot, although he'll at least need the Fire Rod, which I think he's about to get, if I remember right. So at 2 hours, 10 minutes-ish, Linlinlin enters go mode, and we'll be done with the seed in, what, about 3 minutes?
Truly a lost location. I mean, there's 2 chests over in Desert, but you've got to have a small key on Trinex at this point, so... And those are locations you're never going to check. There's your frustration slashes. Because it's right there all along. Oh, Lynn.
This is going to be a very quick try next with Butter Sword and one for the 0 cycle. And getting it. I may have overestimated when I said 3 minutes.
So here's your Desert Power small key. Yep, there it is. I would say definitely in the 180 to 190 item range for Linlinlin. They have left some things behind, say like, if you see something on Bumble that you don't want to get, you just don't get it.
Yeah,
and there's like
not enough of those though. I think it's gonna crack 200. Like, it's not often you get 27 of 27 out of GT.
And it being entirely unnecessary, too. Truly a lost location.
So everybody, get ready to, here in a moment, get your GGs in chat for Linlinlin once they pull the pedestal here.
And with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 30 minutes and 24 seconds, Linlinlin has finished in first place. And RidleyDragon has forfeited right after, unfortunately for him, but totally understandable because he's probably about 90 minutes behind. We'll see if Linlinlin wants to come in for an interview. I imagine he has to say many rude things about this seed. RidleyDragon will not be joining us for an interview, unfortunately. He has got to go take care of some things in real life, but I believe we are joined by Linlinlin now. So GG Linlin, and congratulations on truly fulfilling a last location ice world.
Thank you. That was a seed. Like, there's literally one skip I did in the game. One skip. One single skip.
You
and I
can't
got
call
burned
your
by-
team name the last location as without actually bringing that to fruition.
Like, after Hera, I thought about checking one of the two caves up on Death Mountain, because I know TR is a pain to route. But since I was potentially in go mode, I was like, sure, I'll just leave. And yeah, that led to this. Like, if I have to choose between Mimic Cave and the big chest of TR and Spiral Cave, I would always pick, two items against one. You always go for that entrance. And then you don't really want to, like, loop again, climbing the mountain again. Especially when that dude that had Skullwoods, and then Skullwoods led me to, like, the whole chain, basically. And then I had Swamp. Like, I'm skipping this one, and that's probably one of the most chip item I do in Inverted, but never had it punished me that hard. But yeah, true last locationer. I joined that team this season. I'm glad I did, kinda.
There was an awful lot of fumbling around for the Moon Pearl from Maya. Unfortunately, that caught RidleyDragon out. He was pretty much running in circles for probably an hour or more, trying to work out where to go and not cluing onto it until eventually deciding. He started rechecking some locations and he realized, hey, I can actually go open this dungeon with the Bomber's Medallion I have. So he still had a little bit of trouble getting magic for that, but he eventually got there. But at that point, he had probably a 60 to 90 minute advantage. So it was really unfortunate for him. But I did appreciate your execution throughout all of this scene. Regardless of the Spiral Cave skip, your execution was really on point. And I also really like seeing the diver down in Swamp Palace. That wasn't the diver down location I've seen before. So
yeah, thank you. That's a lot of things I'm practicing. Like Inverted, we had that as a mode last season, so I practiced a lot. So I know a lot of things about it. I was still technically not in logic going into Maya with the mirror, because I was still missing a pod small to get my mirror in logic, but I found it in pod later.
yeah, I do not remember where all the small keys for pod were. I know a lot of them were early on, but if I knew it was key sanity, I would have had my large notepad open. But I didn't. It was a mystery, and pedestal inverted key sanity. That is a rare combination that you could get for a mystery seed.
And pedestal are so volatile. Like, if I just checked Spiral Cave after exiting Hera, that seed would have been an hour. Literally an hour faster. It all comes to that one Spiral Cave check, but it's fine. I mean, it was kind of nasty as well. Like, giving you early glove and hammer to actually have a agony for Dark success. Like, even in regular Inverted, you don't really have that. Like, when you find the glove and the hammer pretty early, you're kind of expecting to get your Moon Pearl. And then when you see those two Ida keys, you're like, oh. And then when I went to bot and found the mirror, I was like, I already see where this is going, because I'm really, really used to Inverted. So I just killed Ida after that.
Yeah, that was a good one to see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I think of all the nasty tricks Inverted could throw at you, this had pretty much most of them. You didn't have to see any climbs up Agatha with just hammer or cane of burner and a few bombs at your disposal, like I did see in the previous tournament race once before, and that was mean. But this has still turned out to be pretty mean. Some of it self-inflicted, unfortunately. So you said he's been practicing a lot of inverted before this, and this definitely came to fruition for you here. It really gave you a big advantage over RidleyDragon, who was he had a really horrible time in the early game. He didn't quite know where to go or what to do. He was short of cash to do things like get into pod, and he kept losing his cash because Kiki the monkey would get away from him, and he never went into the archery game to farm up cash. So because he just wasn't thinking of it. I'm guessing this game mode just threw him for a complete, took him completely by surprise, and he wasn't prepared for it. It was a really small chance of settings like this happening, so totally fair that he wasn't prepared for it. But if he was, he might have done better. He might have got a ice rod earlier.
Like, for example, I remember after playing the digging game, I kept digging a little bit, so I got those 110 to get into pod, because I didn't quite have them. Like the small things in inverted that you need to like really be careful about your money early on, like to play the chess game and digging game, and then if you have access to pod, yeah, you really need that money, because you can't really hold your hand in inverted, but yeah, your only way out basically is the archery game.
And we're coming up on a portion of the credits that I know I at least was excited to see just what that collection rate got up to.
I mean, technically I did 214 out of 216, technically. Because the only thing I didn't check was the right side of desert.
Right. But I'm not sure how many it's going to say.
203. Yeah, we were kind of wringing our hands. Is the ice rod going to be in Ganon's Tower? Is it going to be on the right side of desert? We opened the last chest by Moldorm 2 expecting a key to Desert Palace or an ice rod, and said it's a bottle, and like, oh, so you really did miss Spiral Cave, huh?
Actually, I was thinking after killing Landmollas, or thinking about hard resetting to get the key under the pod instead. I was thinking about it to get to the right side to check it, because Desert Small was still out there. I don't know, ice rod could have been there as well, so.
But Mercer brought up the prospect of also stealing the key in the back of Desert and taking that to the right side.
But in the end I decided not to, because like going through Desert and then getting the key and then going back, that was kind of long, so I just decided to climb instead for 4 items.
Yeah, absolutely understand not wanting to do that at that point. I just thought you might do it the first trip
I thought
for
about
the 2
it.
items versus 1.
Thought about it. Like the last time I saved was after killing Helmuther King. So the only thing I would basically erase would be the whole GT basement, which only had silvers. So I really thought about it, but decided like, yeah, it's the pain, especially Desert in inverted, like going through the front, doing the praying cutscene, and
Yeah, I don't blame you for making that call at that point. Any other thoughts on this seed or on mystery in general? Was this everything you were hoping for in your mystery seed?
Mystery is fine. Pedestal goal, I don't really like it personally. Like, it's very volatile. But other than that, I'm fine with mystery. I'm kind of was expecting some engines, but inverted is fine.
GG to you, Linlinlin, for a fantastic race, and GG to RidleyDragon as well. He stuck it out as long as possible. He didn't, well, he had a lot of trouble. He wasn't quite prepared for this, clearly, but he stuck it out until he sort of got done and forfeited because he was really far behind. He didn't want to keep us waiting around for another hour or bit, so GG's to him too. Please do, if you're still watching, please do follow our runners, RidleyDragon and Linlinlin. Links are in chat. Also, shout out to Tracker Dark Diplomat for helping keep track of everything that's gone on in the seed, especially it being key sanity. A lot of keys and locations and crystals and pendants to track. So shout outs to Dark Diplomat too, and to my co-commentator Mercer for keeping us company tonight. So again, thank you for the race. I'll leave the last word with you, Mercer.
Thank you, Ocelot. Give my co-com Revolving Ocelot a follow here. Also, follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as ALTTPR League 1 through 4, I believe, for more mystery action for this week, and then it moves on into really wacky co-op stuff starting next week. I'm very much looking forward to those. And everybody have a good night.